but this looks like a 2K character. Like it just looks like
yeah. Now that we're sitting on it like this, I'm
yeah.
like,
I was
wait.
like, yeah, like what did I make? People who rock with you like will find what you do. Like they will find it. It's funny because this like I thought it was a scam, man. Like completely thought it was a scam. This guy's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, like we're gonna do this like thing where we bring creators out and like you gotta pay this amount of money. And I was like, okay, it's a huge risk. We're just meeting people for the first time.
Yeah.
And,
That's crazy risk. That's a crazy risk.
It's crazy risk, but the reward was super high.
And like the location.
Bro.
Yeah, you gotta tell me about this. I feel like you got a story already.
I do have a story. I was surprised. Like that was the luck, I think. Like he just went.
Yo, isn't that the best feeling? You know when you shoot something and then all of a sudden in the edit you're like, yo, that was better than I thought.
That actually worked. Yeah.
Like
that actually.
I've been following Joel for over a year and I absolutely love what he's doing with his content and just the whole ecosystem of his business. So if you guys do enjoy this, please like and subscribe.
All right, let's get back into the video. Well, we'll just watch it through. I got questions and we'll be able to talk about it.
Yeah. Fragmentation. This feeling that you're not all the way. This is how I felt for 8 months after quitting my engineering job to be a creative. 8 months of straight isolation. Feeling like maybe this creative thing should have just stayed a dream. An invitation from Creator Camp. A retreat for creators who make a different kind of content online. More meaningful, more raw, a new wave. And of all the creators in the world, they chose me. In 1 week, they showed me that creatives need creators. And that there are people who still dare to dream. And then right back home. Except this time was different. Because I needed to find other fragmented creators. The same way Creator Camp found me. And so I did. I called it the Creative Minds. I hosted one retreat in North Carolina with 10 creatives. We laughed with each other. We learned from each other. We formed connections that you shouldn't be able to form in just 1 week. And after that, we did it again in South Dakota. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. With 15 creators, some who flew internationally to meet people they didn't know, from the UK, and joined my retreats not because they could, but because they were desperate to find others like themselves. Because they, like me, needed other people to fill in the gaps. So my obligation as a creative is to use the resources that I have and the resources that I win to bring creators who felt lost like I once did together. Because sometimes the missing piece isn't a thing or an idea or a social media algorithm. Sometimes the missing piece of the puzzle is another person. Yeah, this video is crazy.
Yeah, can you tell me why it's crazy? Like when you watch it, are you like, dang, I can't like this video because this I feel like has so much meaning.
Yeah.
And like just everything, the concept too. Can you walk me through this?
Yeah. So this video was for a challenge. It was called the Stand Dare to Dream competition.
Congrats too.
Yeah, I won. yeah. It was very cool to win.
That's
man.
wild.
Bless,
okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. But in the competition, obviously it's a story about your life and why you deserve to get this, whatever cash prize. I think it came at a perfect time because the Creative Minds Retreat was something that I was trying to do from last year, was bring a group of creative together. I'm a Christian too, so we base our stuff off of Christianity as well, but there's not that many Christians in the space, or it's just not really a thing. So the community part was just huge. And I was like, all right, if I want to, I felt like there was not that many people who were doing the challenge from the submissions that I saw. And I felt like I had a lot of time in the beginning of the year to polish something. So this is crazy because it's the longest I've ever spent conceptualizing a video. I tried obviously abstract stuff, like this thing at the end was like weird. That was the last like minute put together thing. And I don't know how, but it came together really well. And then obviously a lot of emotion was in it because that's a real story, bro. Like I was down bad in my room for 9 months in my engineering job. So
yeah, there's so much to unpack.
Yeah,
engineering too is a whole thing. I'm like, this guy's an engineer.
Yeah, crazy. A mechanical engineer went to school for 4 years, dude. Got my degree. And
yo, so wait, before we get into the video, like how did the filming happen? How did like the storytelling, like picking up a camera and editing and getting to the point where you are now?
I think it happened in high school is when I bought my camera, and I would just take I'll do photos. I feel like most people start out in photography first. And then during the senior year of college, because I always kind of, played around with it, but during the senior year of college, someone in real estate asked me to just do something. It was like very random. and I had just gotten a 6400 because I traded in my photo camera for something in video. And I think the second I started filming for him, I was like, no way do people pay money for this type of thing. So it got to the point where I was able to make like, I made, I think $2,000, which you gotta
Yeah.
remember, I was in college, bro. Like that's a
That's
lot of,
what, yeah, you're
that's
you're
bread,
rolling,
bro.
you're rolling.
Yeah, I was rolling in money, $2,000. I remember in December of that year. And I was, and this, one of my clients had come up to me and he was like, you know, you should just do this instead of being an engineer at the time. That's ridiculous. But that like stuck in my brain for a long time. And when I started my engineering job, I was like, dang, you know what? I don't know if I like engineering as much
Yeah.
as I like videography, bro. Like this guy might have been onto something because I'm making, you know, I was making way less than I was with my engineering job, but at least I was making money. So
Yeah.
came
He
together.
planted the seed.
Planted the seed, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know how that is. You're sitting at your job and all you're thinking about is video. You're like,
Yeah, video, yeah.
yeah, dude.
It was crazy. Cause I was in my shed, so I had 2 desk setups, and the giant setup was like so nice for my videos, and like there's a little desk in the corner for my work. Yeah, I did not like that job as much as videography for sure.
Oh man. And how long ago was that from like now?
That was 2022 was when June of 2022 was when I got my job. And then I had it for I think 7 or 8 months. And so I
So
quit
like
in February 2023.
Yeah, you're telling me in 2 years you went from that
3.
to
Yeah,
oh 3
yeah.
well,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
2023. Yeah, 2023.
23,
like 2 years.
25, you're like two and a
Yeah,
bit
2 years.
to
yeah.
this to what that is
Yeah.
insane.
I appreciate it, bro. Heavily.
Dude,
Yeah. I mean, it's that, you know, you have every day though to work on it. You know, it's like
yeah,
you have
yeah,
a lot
but
of time.
okay,
Yeah.
and there's how many other people have every day to work on it, but they don't get
That's
like
true.
same amount of time. You know what I mean? I'm not
That's
trying to
true,
like
that's true.
super glaze, but like let's be real out here.
Yeah, I appreciate
Um,
that, bro. Seriously.
Okay. I know you like with this, you said the artsy, like this was such a cool
Yeah.
effect. And like
I appreciate that.
I know how hard it is sometimes to actually make it look like a face. How many
Yeah,
iterations
bro.
did you go and you're like, no, I gotta use this person's lips because this person's lips on us looks ridiculous.
Yeah. I
Were you
think-
moving everything around?
Yeah, I mean, these are my friends, so I don't know. I guess I had already like I just was like, you know what? I actually like went through only maybe 2 or 3 because I just said, this is gonna go here and I'm gonna make it work.
Dang.
One of my like certain things that I noticed like need to be correct, like the eyes and the nose and mouth specifically have to be correct. And then you can see in this like the lining up of certain things has to be the same. So I kept my hair because it keeps it right. And then
Oh, true.
yeah, like so certain things have to be me. But yeah, it's insane how nice it turned out. I think.
Yo,
And then
it turned
feather,
out,
Yeah.
whoa.
feather stuff, and then but this looks like a 2K character. Like it just looks like
yeah. Now that
I'm
you're
like-
now that we're sitting on it like this, I'm
yeah. I was
wait a
like,
minute.
yeah, like what did I make, bro?
like, yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
It's like an abomination to do. Yeah, all
Nah,
my
that's
friends,
still
bro.
pretty good though.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Yo,
Thank you, though.
so the idea of fragmentation, because like you
Yeah.
have that you talked about the effect and how you did it, but like where did that idea come into play with this video specifically? Was that like before? Like, did you write everything and you're like, cool, this is what I'm gonna do, or did this come after?
No, so it came before for sure. So I do this thing, and honestly, like you're a pretty good inspiration for this as well. Like I will just save effects that I think are extremely cool that I don't know how to do yet. Honestly, it's practice to just get better with DaVinci because I do most of my stuff in DaVinci. Like people don't use Resolve; they use After Effects and stuff. So normally I have to just like reconstruct this effect myself. So it's always good practice. I saw this guy who did a similar type of effect, and I was like, I just learned how to use a 3D space in DaVinci. I feel like I could just figure out how to do this. So I just saved that. Like that was like, you know, maybe a month before. I had it just saved, and I said, this would be cool for a video. And then this challenge came out. I said, you know what? I think it would work really well for the concept of like you're a fragmented person. And bro, then it's a lot of storyboarding. I like that script, bro, took me the longest I've ever
for
taken to write a
real?
script. It took me 2 weeks to make the script just to make it like fit with the shot list. Cause I'm doing script and shot list. So it's very
you're doing it like
important.
same time. You're like,
Yeah, I'm just trying to like figure out what shots would go really well with this line of dialogue to make it sound, to make it look the best. And so it's like very like obviously precise because I want to make sure I get the message across in the 90 seconds that I had for a reel at the time.
That's so wild, actually.
Yeah. It was
And
fun though. It was fun. It was fun. I did most of the stuff actually on live. I have like the recordings. I should probably just post them.
oh, on live? Is that like on
Yeah.
Patreon?
No, it's actually on my, I think it's on, well, it's not on my YouTube because I usually do it on my YouTube and it might be on my Patreon. I'm not going to lie. Like it was so long ago. But during this time I was like, yo guys, I'm making something crazy and I just need to record it just in case. And so a lot of the portion
is
I
why
think
you could do.
there.
Oh man, I'm glad that you recorded it though.
I know. I should use it, right? Make some content.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, even talking about that, I know we're getting off the video, but I think you as a content creator and like the ecosystem you've built is something that not a lot of people have tapped into. Like one, the Patreon stuff, selling courses, and that's always tough for creatives. You know, they're always like, I hate feeling like a salesperson. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you do it so well. How do you know what goes where? Because it's like, it feels like it's different content everywhere and it's like a different part of like you in different places, but it still feels so cohesive. Like your newsletter,
Yeah.
you know, the
stuff,
Patreon. Yeah. And then like Instagram, obviously Instagram, TikTok, but even your YouTube, it's like completely different. How do you decide like what goes where? Like, this is what I'm going to do on this platform. This is what I'm going to do on this platform.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like talking to people who are also in the space, and because I have a lot of friends who just do YouTube primarily, and seeing their YouTube content and like connecting with the pieces that I like about their YouTube content makes me want to like simplify. So YouTube for me is more of a documentary style where I can just talk. Now, I have to say, like before I get into this, like the grand scheme of content creation in my head is for the long haul. So I'd like an investment. I'd like to put my hand in each of these investment opportunities to like maximize returns long term. So YouTube is a very slow growing thing, but personality as I think what really sells. And if I can display my personality, even if I don't get crazy amounts of views on YouTube, that's like a really good and easy to make strategy for that, just so I can have it there. Instagram is very quick. Like most of my income right now comes from Instagram because it's just so mentally stimulating. Like the content's just quick. I can put all my inspiration into a video and not burn out because it's only a 1 minute video, but I still put a lot of work into it. But you know, I don't burn out on that front. And then the courses and stuff too is pretty interesting because that's not my main strategy right now. I don't have to be salesy. Like a lot of the times I don't really tell people that. I tell people in my comments, if you want to know how to do the breakdown of the video, it'll be on my Patreon. That's really it. Like I don't really not care, but I don't need to push it because I'm making my income from somewhere else right now and I can capitalize off of that. But mostly because people who rock with you, like will find what you do. Like they will find it. And so it's like a very cool thing that you don't have to really do too much all the time. Like they will find your content, I think.
Yeah. And don't you feel like it's kind of cool when they're kind of mad at you for some reason? They're like, yo, you didn't tell me about your Patreon. And you're like, oh, my bad. Like, you know, that or like, hey, yo, you didn't tell me you have courses. Like, what did I want to learn? And then now you're like, maybe I should have been promoting it. Like, I'm doing a disservice to my audience for the ones that don't want it.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me actually like, do you do other stuff, or like, how do you do XYZ? And I'll be like, oh, I have a Patreon. Like, oh, I didn't know, but it is, interesting position where I know that I guess I'm sitting on a lot of money, but I don't know. My heart's in the creation right now, so I'm not too concerned. Even my newsletter, I haven't like done anything crazy with it recently, but that's just because my heart's in the creative game right now. Like so,
I know, and I think the moment that you're out of that, it's tough. It's like, it's really tough. You got to stay in line with what you love doing, because, you know, and then maybe it just means that you hire a sales team and not even sales, but just how to market it if you really want to stay in the creative side of things. Okay. A couple things with this video.
Job to be creative. 8 months.
This fisheye, or what is this, 360?
That's a fisheye lens. Yeah, it's like I think it's a 4mm lens that I got.
4mm. Where did you even what is this on?
It's on. So it's on the same camera that I'm using to film this. It's the A7 IV that I had rigged. So you can actually see it in one of the scenes before the side profile shot. It's actually in the top right corner next to mine. Yeah, I don't know. I actually didn't mask it out because I was so exhausted with this editing that I was like, you know
Yeah,
what? Like people will not see this. But that's it. Yeah. So you can. It's the 4mm lens.
Yo,
I
but
think
is
it's
it
an
on a
APS-C.
C-stat? Like what?
Yeah, it's on the C stand. Yeah. I took advantage of my rooms. Like, okay, so I masked it out here.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
because I was like, okay,
yeah,
did he
yeah.
but the mask is so good because I was like, usually I can kind of tell, and I'm like, maybe because it's a distortion, I was like, where is this thing?
Yeah, bottom left, you can see it's not fully a circle, like on the rim, like
Oh, here.
and yeah. So I was playing around with the different versions of Photoshop, like to make it
Damn.
degenerate. Yeah. But yeah, 4mm lens there.
Four
Kept it there for a
millimeter
whole
looks
day.
like this? That's crazy.
Yeah, APS-C though, I will say. So it's actually
yeah.
the creators who make a different kind of
Okay,
content,
so
fragmented creators. The same
this talks about, creator camps, which is such a cool. Those guys over there putting that together is amazing.
different. Yeah.
Different breed. Like what they're doing and pushing everything has been amazing. Can you talk about that experience and how that made you feel? Because I haven't gone to camp since like high school, and I remember it was like leadership camp, and I loved
Yeah,
it. Like the
different, yeah.
amount of energy you get from having the same type of people together is stupid. You're like, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it was great, man. I got invited to the first camp in 2023, or 2024, sorry. So the same year that I moved out of my house. And dude, it's crazy because when they approached me, it was because of a video that I posted on my YouTube, not my Instagram, even though my Instagram was like doing very well at the time. They found me from my YouTube, which is also where I found there's value in making YouTube videos that are more like thought-provoking and like deep. But regardless, I talked to Simon Kim, and it's funny because like I thought it was a scam, man. Like completely thought it was a scam. This guy's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, like we're gonna do this like thing where we bring creators out and like you gotta pay this amount of money. And I was like, okay. Like I don't know if, but I think once I looked into him and I was like, okay, this is not only legit. Yeah, but I know people who are other creators there that have been there. So at the time I was watching this guy Anthpo, I was watching this guy Steezy Kane, and I was like, yo. Yeah, as soon as I saw them, I was like, hold on, like this might give me the chance just to meet people, even if I don't benefit from it, like on like a creator, like ROI standpoint, whatever.
Yeah.
So after that, I booked my ticket and booked my flight. They said I was one of the first people who booked it for that trip specifically. Completely changed my life, like completely. Because you're right, like when you're in a room of people, up to this point, like the story said, I was alone for 8 months, 7 months, thinking that I'm crazy for trying to, create content and make stuff and iterate and whatnot. And I was also in kind of a rut because I didn't want to do the cinematic content or the cinematic fitness content. I did a lot of fitness content. So to keep doing that kind of content it just wasn't hitting because people weren't seeing me as an individual. They're seeing me as like a motivational account. And I want to be more than that, especially for brands and wanting to, make money off of this thing. When I went to this thing, like you said, like these are people that I've seen online, but they're also like really invested in what they're doing, and they're also succeeding with what they're doing. So I met Paulo, I meet Ethan and Justin, all the people, Jesse, whatnot, and these people are incredible creators, but then they're also really cool. So the connection is like instant. Like there's no like. They have the same problems that I have when it comes to filming. They're going through the same things. And it's just like dude, it was literally like, I went home from that. Like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. And I gotta just,
it's like, you gotta chase that feeling. Like,
it's
such you mentioned it in one of your videos where you're like, yo, you coming back to like, your room and your desk. And then you're like,
it's like, bro,
man, was that even real? Like, it's a high. You're like, oh,
yeah. I think that was crazy.
Yeah. Cause I don't know how it actually is. I can only imagine it's like, you get into a room and then you have activities where it's like, you might be writing a script. And I think I saw clips of you guys like playing the piano or singing and writing.
Yeah.
And it's not just filmmaking. It's like, whatever touches your creativity, let's rock with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's such a cool feeling that when they're doing that and how big it's gotten.
Yeah.
And then how you wanted to do it too. Can you talk like more about that with the creative mind stuff? Because I think that's cool.
I think so too. I will say this. So before I talk about that, one part that was kind of pivotal with that retreat specifically was we lost power for like half of the trip. And so we actually like didn't get to do the things that we planned. We just sat around and just talked. I think that's why it was so special to me too, because when you take the ability to create, because we were still creating, away from the creators of the internet, these people are still people who go through their problems, and we were just talking, and that was amazing. And so I think I took that away the most. But into the creative mind stuff, yeah, when I got back from my retreat, I said, like, this needs to happen again. I need to be a part of something like this. I wanted to do something myself, but the creative minds thing, it actually started off more like as a just a retreat with friends. Like, it was never really creative minds. I had this cabin had reached out. All right, I reached out to a cabin because I wanted to just go on a little vacation. I was gonna do a solo trip, but I ended up asking them, like, would it be possible for me to bring out some other content creators and we could just hang out and make some content? They said yes. And one of my friends, Tiana, who helps me plan the retreats, she actually reached out to me, and this is crazy because she had watched one of my videos and she had joined my, I had a chat at the time, like with a bunch of, creatives that we meet. And she was like, yeah, I'm down to help. And from then she helped organize just that first like outing is what I would say. Bro, from there, like, I think that's a good proof of concept. It was just a weekend. It was 2 days. We had 10 creatives out there, and it was extremely, extremely beneficial, extremely fun. The feeling is different. And these are all people that are from online. Like, so, it's a huge risk. We're just meeting people for the first time.
Yeah. That's crazy risk. That's a crazy risk.
It's crazy risk, but the reward was super high. I think it's because they're like super vetted. Like, we talk online, and because it's you kind of have an idea of how these people are going to be in real life. So from there, the proof of concept was just real. We decided to say, let's make this more serious. My roommate had a connect who got us a house in South Dakota, which we did not really want to go to be honest. Like, it was really random, but it's a beautiful part of the country. Now I know. And once you have a location, like, it's like, okay, so now we have location, let's get the people, let's get the marketing material out there, let's handpick some people and see if we can get something working. And that was the biggest challenge, like, was convincing people to spend, I think we said $500, which isn't crazy, but $500 to come out and experience this thing in South Dakota. And so we had people coming from the Netherlands. I can't even believe it still. From the UK,
That's
which is crazy. Literally from Seattle. We had people come from obviously like North Carolina, where we were, from Kentucky. Like, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And and so that's when I knew, like, there's something here. Like, there's something here. And so we had a recent one. We just had a recent one in April in Gallery, Tennessee, with 20 creatives, and that was crazy. And we're gonna do it again. It's just when.
Yeah, you went to Great Smoky, right? Great Smoky Mountains. Is that you guys? Okay, cool. Because when I saw that, I saw it, and I love that place. That place is beautiful, bro. Like,
beautiful.
That's a whole. I did a 10-hour hike out there with my boys, and when I saw it, I was like, that getting creativity and inspiration from being outdoors, something like some there, is different. It's a higher power.
Different,
for sure,
bro.
Right?
100%.
So you guys just did that recently. When was that? You say April?
Yeah, that was in April. We did that in April. We wanted to do one in October or sometime this year, but I just don't want to rush it. Like, there's like a Creator Camp has like their sponsors. We have our sponsors. We reached out to Epidemic. They sponsored the last two, and then we reached out to Patreon, who also sponsored the last one that we did, which was insane to me. Stan wants to do this next one that we have. I'm just like very careful because there's a very genuine nature to it, and when we start bringing in sponsors, I don't want to direct this good thing into a money-making thing or something where it feels less genuine than it really is. So we're trying to get away from that, and to do that it needs time. But obviously I moved.
There's a lot going on.
Everyone else is literally moving. Like, everyone's like moving at the same time. It's like hard to lock down. So right now is a bad time for planning.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like with things like this, you need a period where you miss it. Like, where, because if it happens back to back, and it's almost like, oh man, having it that far, I feel like people start to get excited again. They're like, okay, cool. Can't wait until October. And you know how fast, like, it's already like almost July.
That's what I'm
This
saying,
year
bro.
probably went so fast for you.
I know it
You know?
has been. It's like bad, bro. Though,
And
like I
I
don't
know.
want it to go by fast, but like it's already June. Like
It's already June. Like you
need
made
to
that video
chill
that we
out.
just watched in January. Like,
I can't believe that. Yeah,
isn't
I
that
can't
crazy?
believe that.
So
yeah.
October is gonna come by quick. It's just like starting to plan stuff, and you probably have so much stuff going on already right now.
Yeah.
But I still got more questions, but let's jump into the next video.
Yeah. Okay. There's a set of hidden rules looming over all creators and everything we make. Our work feels like offerings, given up to this invisible force.
Yeah, that's trash, little bro.
That controls the fate of our creative career. But I think there's another way. See, your biggest fans, the ones who fund you creatively, aren't just your friends and family. It's a guy across the world watching you instead of submitting his college thesis. You just don't know him yet. In Patreon's State of Create report, they call these people your core fans. They found that 80% of your core fans are willing to support your creativity financially. And in the words of a wise young man, there is so much power in having people who genuinely support you because they will never leave you. Riveting. This is why I have my own community on Patreon where you can see the breakdown of all the videos that I make. But at the end of the day, keep creating. That's funny.
Yo, for videos like this, there's so many things, visual effects, text, different types of transitions, and so music, all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's pretty consistent across all your videos. It's never really the same, but you always use those types of elements. Like at what point did you figure out, okay, yo, this is important. I got to start doing a lot of these things. I got to start like trying to up my text game or up my music and things like that.
It's funny because I think it's just like it just pops into my mind, bro. I'm gonna say it's a blessing from God, bro. Because I sometimes think I don't always have like a good idea. A lot of times it changes from the shot list that I created to a final edit because a hit of inspiration will come in and I'll be like, oh, let me just make it like this. It'd be more funny. For this video specifically, this is also another Patreon. This is actually one of the ads that we created from the last retreat. And it's interesting because it was just so cool because I was in the report and it was like about me and I use Patreon. So it just made a lot of sense. But for this stuff, I've just noticed the core elements that need to stay consistent with my content forever is it needs to be my voice and I need to have my face in the content. And I've noticed it actually is even better when you have your face and your voice and you're speaking like in a microphone or whatnot, which I did with my editing series. Yeah. Cause that whole series, like I think people resonate with it because I just feel like a person. Me singing and like I just noticed like if I can just like be me, like fully me, make the jokes I make and sing randomly and all this stuff, like it just changes it from being a piece of content to now like a piece of my personality that I can show online, Yeah. Like this is literally how I see the world, I think, and that's the cool thing is like this is just me seeing the world.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You talking about like talking head. One of my favorite things that you do is talking to the mirror, and you have like your camera at the bottom, and then you always have like it's like plants just like dirtying up the frame, and you're just kind of that's for some reason that's my favorite talking head of yours. Like when you're doing that, and I'm like it almost feels like stand-up comedy a little bit.
That's funny.
Or you know what I mean, like a little bit of a performance.
Yeah. I guess that's just my personality, bro. That's pretty funny. I appreciate that, bro. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's definitely a compliment. I feel like there are certain creators that are really good behind the camera but aren't in front of the camera. And there are certain creators that and you could tell like there's a bit of performance when you're doing stuff, and you kind of got to get loose. So that's cool.
In Patreon's State of Create report, they call these people your core fans. They found that 80.
Again, and just a quick question.
That was fun.
When did you? When were you like? You wrote the script, and were you like, oh, I'm singing this right here?
Nah, bro. So that's like the type of thing, literally, where I'll be in the edit, and like I'll be editing it, and I'm like, yo, it would just be fun if I just sang this for some reason, and then I'll just like go into like I'll just go into like multiple tabs, and just be recording voices, and then try to like pitch stuff. Like it's like a lot. I just have fun with it, and I'm like, oh, I screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in here and just use it. Like there's zero reason that was not planned. I said, bro, I'm just gonna put this in here. Yeah, and it worked out. I think,
dude, I love that because you probably wrote it out and you're like, yeah, let me see how it sounds when I sing it. You have to actually sing it, do a couple takes, layer it, then kind of harmonize it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like, yo, I need a little high one. So it's
exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had fun with it, dude. I like music. Like you see, I got a piano.
Yeah.
I love music. I'm trying to get in that space more. So,
dude,
hey,
that's good.
percent of your core fans are willing to support your creativity financially. And in the words of a wise young man, there's so much.
So stuff like this.
Bro,
At what point
ridiculous.
do you? Yeah, I love this. This is
Yeah.
and your text in a lot of your videos, especially recently, has been so good. But it's like,
Appreciate it.
at what point does this come up in your brain? Are you shooting this, or is this in the edit where you're like, you know what, words are gonna pop off right now?
Yeah, definitely in the edit. So, I mean, so I get context for this video. For the last few months, I've been under a pretty tight deadline with the companies that I work with and brands. And this one was one of the situations where I was planning on flying out somewhere the next day. So I had to just get all the content filmed. And when you film content, when you film not enough, you have to make up for it in the edit. This is one of those situations where I was like, you know what? Like, I hate it when my videos are too bland, when it doesn't look like I tried. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna just like put in the extra effort to do this random effect. I don't know, this random effect where the text comes off the screen and disappears, because it's simple enough to do in Fusion. Now this effect took me probably the same amount of time it took to make the entire video, which is ridiculous. Yeah, and that's just because I was trying to be meticulous and trying.
Yeah,
to
the shadows, dude. There's the details in it is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's unfortunately a lot. Like, and then it's a lot of words. So I have to do an individual kind of effect for each one of the words. But I think that's where you grow as a creative. Is like one, I'm not gonna reduce the quality because of a time crunch.
Yeah.
And if I do have a lack of footage, I'm gonna make up with it with some edits and some fun stuff like me singing and stuff I can do after. Because I care about my work. You know?
Yeah, of course. It's your name on it. You know what I mean? And the quality is so high. So and it stands out. Stands out. Yeah, because I saw it, I was like, God damn, I already know that took long.
Yeah, it took so long.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is kind of unfortunate when I do these effects and I don't input them in the beginning of the video, because I always have like the awareness that people's retention will drop off. But if you show them something flashy in the beginning, they'll stick around even if the rest of the video is not, as flashy. So if you watch my videos, like most of the crazy effects are in the beginning, and it will kind of like lax out as I go on, except for the stand video that you made. Like that one, I said I'm gonna just go crazy the whole time. So.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. We talked about the talking head and all that kind of stuff. Where did you get the inspiration to do different things all the time? Because like I feel like, and one of the comments, I don't know if it was one of the recent comments on one of your videos, was like, yo, it's like a different video. It's like a different or a new you every single time, or different. And I was like, that is like a highest of high comment, you know?
Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. I every time I get an idea, I write it down. I have a Notion document that has all my ideas. And so I'll just write down every one of my ideas when they pop up, or I'll save videos that I find inspiring. But every time I have a thought, it needs to go somewhere. So it's really good I have a notebook. I don't know where it's at, but all my ideas are fleshed out in a notebook. And from the notebook, it goes to my another Notion page that's more thought out. And then from there, it goes onto my calendar for me to start filming and editing. But it's just like the inspiration isn't something that you can, I think, systematically produce. Like you always have so many ideas. So if you always are ready with either like a notes tab or something on your phone to just catch the idea when it comes to you, and then write a little bit about what it is the idea is, then you can kind of flesh it out as you go on. But I also do spend a lot of time just sitting down and thinking about the idea, like writing out everything I'd like to say in this video, and then condensing what I'd like to say into a format that's like more of a YouTube voiceover, and then moving on from there.
Do you find it hard? Sometimes you just wait for inspiration, but when you are working with brands and stuff like that, where it's like, yo, you don't really got it all the time. Is that when you're like, okay, where are my notes? What are effects that kind of look nice? Where can I draw whatever I can draw inspiration from?
Yeah, dude, I find it actually very hard, because I think the biggest thing with brands isn't that I can't find something. It's actually more that I have a time crunch and I can't do as much as I'd like to do. A case in point is like, I did this video for Audible recently, and I think it was such a good video. I think the hashtag ad destroys any engagement. That's fine. I still am very proud of that video, because what they wanted me to do was find an audiobook and make I don't know, transform myself into whatever world.
Yeah. So when you go outside, right, and then you're lying down.
Yeah, I had the headphones and whatnot, and yada yada.
Great video.
Thank you. And that what's frustrating not frustrating. Oh, it was frustrating. I had like, I think like a week to do it, or a week or 2 weeks to do it. And that's on top of a whole bunch of stuff I had to do for another campaign I'm doing that I actually probably can't name right now, but another campaign I was doing, whatnot. So it's interesting though, because like I said, I really don't like putting in minimal effort. So I go on runs in the morning, and I had to find an audiobook. So I just found The Giver. I listened to the entire audiobook on a run, and every time a piece would come up that I think I could use for my content, I bookmarked it. Yes, there's so many restrictions, but I've just noticed, like, if you are able to, if you're able to maximize your time to really put the work in, I think the result is just super, it's just super, it's a lot more genuine. Like, I
Yeah.
had to, I had to listen to a whole audiobook for that video, but it came out the way I wanted to. So that's good. But in other situations when I don't have a lot of time, it really is just like sitting down, and like I said, the ideas do sort of come to me. But understanding their product and what they're trying to do is very important. So you're not just selling your audience on something like you don't really care
Yeah,
about.
that you don't believe it. And then it's like,
Yeah.
it's all about being genuine, right? I feel like
Yeah.
that's something that you really take into account with all the content that you do.
Absolutely.
How long was the audiobook? How long was this run?
I think it was, well, so I had to run 7 miles that day. So yeah. And I don't listen to the audiobook on 1. Like I listen to it on 1.3.
Yeah, it's got to be
1.4.
faster. But then my
little-
issue
a
is
little
sometimes I'll do
faster.
that and I'm like, wait, what did they say?
What do they say? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I was just trying to find like a nugget that I could use for a video where I could record in a park, again, relatively easily, because bro, the original concept was crazy. I had a whole Blender thing. I don't know how to use Blender.
Oh, yeah,
but I
no,
didn't
that
have-
you wow.
Yeah, but I didn't have enough time, so I was like, all right, let me just like chill out and find something I could do in a park, and that one came out perfect. I did it. I quit my job. I like this one. I quit my job. I quit my job. Now what? Was my head just in the clouds? Because now I have to make money. The skill I know I can teach people. Content creator who likes to tell his story. But I've had that idea for 2 months now, and I couldn't get it started. So I did something crazy. I sold the 9-week course that I wanted to make, a full breakdown to how I film and edit my videos without the course even being made. Some people signed up. And of course, they expected a course. So each week I made a lesson for the next week. My students were happy because they learned from me, and I was happy because I was doing something I enjoyed. I was actually making money. Case in point, even if you have to force yourself to start, you need to take the first step. I actually have the same exact course in my Stan store. I'm just saying, but you need to start today. That's funny. Stan would love this.
Yeah, because I was like, this is not an ad for them, right? This is.
It actually is.
Oh, is it
like-
an ad for them?
Ad is like, I would say ad is a stretch because
yeah. It's kind of
it's
loosely.
like a yeah. So that they wanted to make this a story of what we do, and so it's not really an ad. It's like more of like a integration, I guess you'd call that.
Yeah. Okay.
Using a personal story, and like I was like, they were very adamant about it. Like you need to just tell a story. Like it doesn't have to be about us, at all. And this is fun. This is fun to make.
This one was good. I loved it. One thing I loved about it too is like this match cut.
Did it? Yeah. I quit my job. I quit my job.
And like the location.
Bro.
Yeah, you gotta tell me about this. I feel like you got a story already.
I do have a story because like this. All right, so like for background, we were filming in California for another campaign for Stan.
Yeah, it's like the video before this. I think you posted it.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. So we spent the entire, like I'm talking from 5 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. or around that time. I'm filming, and this is constant filming. So the next day we were supposed to work on our personal videos. There's a few creators there. I was exhausted, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo. I was literally like trying to just like goad them into being like, you could just make the video at home. Cause I just was like, let me just get home and I'll make a better video than anything I can make here. They were like, no, like we just want you to film something. I said, all right, fine. It was foggy outside. I said, let me just like, maybe I'll just film this thing, and hopefully when I get home, I can create a mash cut with the same effect, which is hard to do when, this is handheld, there's no,
what?
there's no like, motorized anything. It's just handheld. So I said, screw it. Like, let's see if we can just get this thing working. So I literally do like these clips I recorded. I just recorded them just so I could say that I filmed, bro, low key.
Oh, yeah, you just recorded there, so they're like, get off
So
my
they're
back.
happy. They're happy that I said I filmed a little bit, and I went home. I knew I was gonna make the edit after. I knew it. But yeah, so we did that. But when I went home, that was tricky because how do you match up something like this? We forgot the focal length and the
Yeah.
distance between, so we had to kind of come up with that on the spot, me and my roommate. But what we did was we took, I think, like honestly, this exact frame,
And you
we
matched it. Did you see how you
yeah.
got up?
Yeah,
then
we
you're
saw,
like,
yeah,
you guys were watching
yeah,
and you're like, okay, yo, it's got to be like the right shoulder getting up, this
yeah,
amount of.
exactly,
Yo,
exactly.
that's so wild. That
And we had to match him, like him moving up at the same time. So I think what we do though to make it easy is when we use the Monitor Plus app. I don't know. This sounds like a plug, bro. It's not. It's just dude. I think every creator should have the Monitor Plus app because it's just like a way that you can. It has so many features that you can connect your camera for, and one is like an overlay, so you can see how you have to move. And then what we do is like we will film one time, take the SD card out, try to do the edit. If it works, okay. If not, what do we have to do to make it better? Plug the SD card back to the camera and go again. So like we're editing kind of as we're filming, so we can just make sure it is perfect. Again, more context. This video, I shot it 2 days before we were supposed to move out of our apartment. So dude, I was not like, we were just doing a lot at once. And so in this situation specifically, it was just late at night. I was honestly super tired. I didn't want to shoot it, but we got it done. So
this was such a clean cut, like a match cut.
thank you.
It was clean.
I was surprised. Like that was the luck, I think. Like he just went.
Yo, isn't that the best feeling? You know when you shoot something and then all of a sudden in the edit you're like, yo, that was better than I thought.
That actually worked. Yeah.
You're
Like that actually. Like I can't believe. Yeah, I was happy because Stan themselves, they were like, "Oh, this is so great." I'm like, bro, I'm glad you thought it was good because the way, like, we did not have that plan like initially. So
it was so clean. And like the locations, you like this, it fit perfectly because you talk about heading the clouds and it has like this little bit of like fog and things like that.
That's crunch time thinking, bro. Like I'm telling you, I was just like, how do I get these people to be like, you film? I was like, yo, it's foggy outside. Let's just go film right now. My head's in the clouds.
But you know what? Like, don't you think that sometimes that kind of creates the best, or it forces you to think creatively really fast? Like, you don't have time to just like what we're talking about. Yo, you just gotta jump on. Like, I was like, yo, you want to jump on the podcast? And it's like, all right, cool. We have to do it now because
just gotta go.
You just gotta get on it and go.
I do think so. I fully agree. Actually, I think a lot of these, like anything I do with a brand, it's funny because the 3 videos you played were brand deals, and a lot of times, like I don't want to make it look like a brand deal, so I put more effort in. But you're right. Like crunch time, I have to make it work with what I have, and that produces something. So.
And you know what? Like I didn't think these were brand deals because they were so So I think it works. No, it works. And like, you should know that it works because I'm watching them like, oh, and then I have to check. And I was like, yo, is this a brand deal? I was like, oh, no, I don't feel like it.
This guy got scammed. No, I'm just playing.
I got played.
Yeah.
No, it's good. There's another shot here.
This is funny.
My job.
Yeah, the story now I'm thinking about it, this is so funny now that I'm watching it. Like knowing how you felt here, like, yo, let's just go out and shoot, please. Like
but I was like, all right, bro, let's just go out and shoot. Okay. It was after lunch.
Give me the footage. Give me the footage. I gotta move when I go back home. So
I was gonna say I'm like, bro, I got a clip for you. That's just all right.
No, that's so funny.
Is my head just in the clouds? Because now I have to make money. The skill I know I can teach people.
Content creator who likes to tell his story.
But I've had that idea for 2 months now, and I couldn't get it started.
So that was crazy.
How? Because I really would have to think of how I would do this, and I'm like, man, it's a lot. And if you're shooting by yourself, that's probably like, yo, you're getting up, boom, boom.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. Yeah. Well, what I had to do was, man. Yeah. So sometimes I do too much, I think. And that was one of the scenarios where I'm like, man, I'm making this hard. Like, like you saw, I had to film a wide angle shot and then I and I had to zoom out and then just keep it there. And then, it was just a long, tedious process just to get the one frames. Once you have the frames, I think you kind of understand. You put them into Fusion. It's super simple. I had a wide and a close.
Yeah.
And once I put them over each other, I could play around in space.
Dude, but it's a lot of time and effort. And then
so much, man.
Sometimes you're sitting there, you're like, could I have done this easier? You're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I think that frequently, but I think every time, like honestly, most of my edits, I'm like, what? But I think I do think like it does add that like 1% difference
And I genuinely enjoy this so much. So to be able to create something that is in my mind and it looks pretty good, I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. Nah, dude, that's so good.
Without the course even being made. Some people signed up.
It was a crazy idea.
And of course,
Crazy.
they expected a course. So each week I made
Yo, dude, so clean. Like, I don't know how you're
Thank you.
rotoscoping some of this, because like, you see some
Bro.
other people's videos and you're like, oh, I could see that line. You're like,
Yeah. All the time.
this is clean. I'm like, how you even getting it around your hair? I'm like looking at your hair. I'm like, yo,
Bro,
what the-
literally Magic Mask 2, bro. I'm gonna make a whole video about that. Like, it is truly one of the it's so easy to use. I just make like 2 points, done. I've never seen something this clean before.
It's
ever
so
in my life.
clean. Magic Mask
It's
2,
so
want to
good.
know. That's
Magic Mask 2.
crazy. I'm
Yes,
like looking
it's
at your
amazing.
hair too, because that's always like the worst.
The
you know?
telltale, yeah. And I have black hair too, and it's like super like coily, whatever. So it's like easy to. But nah, they cooked on that. DaVinci team cooked on that one.
Yeah, man. God dang. Yo,
Yeah.
this. How did you do this?
Oh, this is cool. We actually did this effect in California, so I was like, I'm taking this effect for sure. It's just an RS. I have an RS4 Mini, like one of the gimbals, and I don't know if you know, but you can program points. So yeah, once you program points, you just keep it steady and film the same thing like 100 times and
Dude,
match it up in post.
The addition of like movement to these shots make it look so good.
Yeah, wide angle lens with and putting it close, it does. It's cool, man. I love it.
Dude, I love
this.
it.
You'll say I love this. Man.
Like it's so good.
Students were happy because they learned from me, and I was happy because I was doing something I enjoyed. I was actually
even this too. Like I'm like
Magic Mask 2. I couldn't believe this one.
This one,
couldn't believe it.
You don't know how long I was sitting on this. I was like looking at it, I was like, man.
Yeah, this is wild. I could have made it better. I'm not gonna lie. I could have added a drop shadow on one of the hands to the right to make it look like there was more depth. But for the most part, you get the idea.
But it's
making money. Case in point, even if you have to force yourself to start, you need to take the first step. I actually have the same exact course in my stand store.
Little plug.
I'm just saying, but you need to start today.
This was like so. It was so clean. I think everything about it. Yo, one piece of advice for any creators who were you 2-3 years ago. Engineering job, sitting there.
Engineering.
Thinking, at a job thinking, yo, I can only think about video right now. Like I'm obsessed right now.
I would definitely say if they want to make it full-time, I read this book, Set for Life. It's by Scott Trench. It's a real estate book technically, but the principles in it apply to pursuing any creative career, and it's just saving up enough money to be able to pursue your career without the fear of running out of money. And that's exactly what I did. I saved up enough money to be able to do what I like, and it took me maybe a year to get stable income as a creative. But you have to start with what you have. Job wise, you shouldn't just like quit your job. That's not a good idea. You should have a plan. So definitely do that, and then. I think like the huge thing is just keep creating. Like you have to keep creating, or else you're not going to be able to do this thing. Like you need to keep putting content out, even if you think it's bad.